If you've been looking for crypto investment opportunities outside of buying Bitcoin, you may have come across XRP. It's sometimes referred to as Ripple, but that's actually the name of the company that created it. Although XRP ranks in the top 10 by market cap, it's still far off the highs it reached in early 2018. It's also not available at most US crypto exchanges due to the SEC lawsuit. Cryptocurrencies are usually high risk, high reward, but XRP is even riskier than the typical coin. Let's look at what it does and how to decide if you should buy or hold any. If this sounds like something of much interest to you, be sure to check out this new video starting now. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, where we talk about the latest updates on XRP and the cryptocurrency world in general. If this is your first time watching one of our videos, we happily send you a special welcome. We invite you to hit on the notification bell so you never miss another video. We are announcing that this channel has a giveaway of 200 XRP. To stand the chance of participating, all you have to do is simply subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment with the hashtag XRP, and the winner will be announced on the 15th of March. The long-term outlook for XRP hinges on a crucial legal ruling involving the Securities and Exchange Commission. XRP is the native cryptocurrency for Ripple, a payment technology released in 2012 and intended to make international money transfers faster, cheaper, and easier. In a best-case scenario, Ripple would replace SWIFT and become the method of choice for international money transfers. SWIFT's market dominance means that won't happen anytime soon, but there are several advantages that could help Ripple chip away at it. Here are the biggest benefits of Ripple as a payment technology. Transaction costs are extremely low. Each transaction costs 0.0001 XRP. At the current price of XRP, that's a fraction of a penny. Transactions process quickly, with the average transaction taking just 5 seconds. XRP can be used by banks to facilitate trades of one currency for another. Instead of holding various currencies, they could hold XRP and swap currencies at a lower cost. Since XRP is Ripple's cryptocurrency, buying XRP is a way of investing in Ripple. Just like you can buy Ether if you believe in Ethereum, you can do the same with XRP and Ripple. Ripple has ambitious goals, and it has been making progress on them. According to its website, its RippleNet payments network includes over 300 financial institutions across over 40 countries. That's a start, but SWIFT is still far ahead. It's partnered with over 11,000 financial institutions across over 200 countries. It's also worth noting that many of the financial institutions partnered with Ripple use RippleNet, but not XRP. The network can be used to process transactions for all kinds of currencies and commodities. Banks that use it aren't required to use XRP, and quite a few don't because of the volatility. For nearly 5 years, crypto investors have been waiting patiently for XRP to return to its early glory days. At one time, people referred to XRP as the better Bitcoin, and its future seemed bright. However, since January 2018, when it peaked at $3.84, XRP has seemingly done nothing but shrink. While XRP still ranks as the 6th largest crypto in the world with a $21 billion market capitalization, it has been in a holding pattern for the past 2 years amid a pending legal case with the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. Signs of a breakthrough in this case came in late 2022, and XRP briefly rallied on the news. But the latest update from Ripple Labs, the team behind XRP, is that nothing is going to happen with the SEC case until June at the earliest. So is it finally time to give up on this former crypto darling? Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. There's a lot to unpack here. There's the Ripple Payment Network, which is a blockchain-powered network for cross-border payments. There's XRP, which is the native crypto token of the Ripple Payment Network. If you want to send money over this network, you need to use XRP. And there's Ripple Labs, the California-based company that created the Ripple Payment Protocol and controls the development of the Ripple Payment Network. According to the SEC, the Ripple Labs team engaged in a series of unregistered securities offerings when it sold XRP tokens to the public over a multi-year period. According to Ripple Labs, though, XRP was never a security and is still not a security, it's a cryptocurrency. It asserts that XRP tokens were sold to the public in the same way as other cryptocurrencies are sold to investors via an initial coin offering. Moreover, it says that XRP is simply a governance token of the payment network, not a business interest in Ripple Labs, so it can't possibly be a security. Because of the complexities and nuances involved, the SEC's case has been interminable, with memo after memo, briefing after briefing, and the goalposts always seem to be moving. Speaking at this year's World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, Ripple Chief Executive Officer Brad Garlinghouse said that a final decision by the courts would come sometime in the coming single-digit months, but June at the earliest. That might only be 3 to 4 months, but that's an eternity in the crypto world. And would you really be willing to wait 4 more months, only to find out that your investment in XRP is almost worthless? In many ways, the ruling in this case will determine the future of XRP. In the best-case scenario, the judge will side with XRP, Ripple Labs will be free to build out the future of cross-border payments, the Ripple payment network will grow exponentially in size, and the price of XRP will rise. By some estimates, XRP could rise to $5 or higher on a positive ruling in the case. In a worst-case scenario, though, the XRP token could go to zero. Investors could decide to give up on XRP entirely and look to invest in other blockchain networks capable of processing cross-border payments. When the Ripple payment network launched a decade ago, it was revolutionary. Now, not so much, thanks to the rise of Layer 1 blockchains like Ethereum, which did not exist before July 2015. Now to our main question for the day: should I buy or hold XRP? You could invest in XRP if you believe Ripple has potential and that it's likely to reach a favorable outcome in its SEC lawsuit. Keep in mind that it's a high-risk investment, even compared to other cryptocurrencies. Ripple could prove to be extremely useful. International money transfers between banks can be slow, expensive, and difficult to even set up. Ripple solves those problems, and it has already secured hundreds of partnerships, including many with major financial institutions. There's also a large company behind Ripple that's focused on promoting it and moving it forward. Despite its potential, there are several reasons to be cautious about buying XRP. The SEC lawsuit may have a negative impact on it going forward. It could be determined that Ripple violated securities laws, or the SEC could simply drag the case out as long as possible. Ripple's main competition, Swift, is already firmly entrenched in the banking industry. The success of XRP and Ripple isn't necessarily intertwined. Most of the financial institutions that work with Ripple don't use XRP. XRP isn't available for purchase on many of the top cryptocurrency exchanges in the United States. That last issue with XRP means that if you're interested in buying any, the first step is finding an exchange that sells it. For that reason, I can't recommend XRP as a potential investment. There's too much legal risk. If you're holding onto XRP, you're basically hoping for a favorable ruling in a make-or-break case. The links between XRP and Ripple are so extensive, including the fact that many people still today refer to the XRP crypto as Ripple, that the court might decide that XRP really is a security, and therefore the coin sales violated SEC regulations. Alas, there are no last-minute catalysts on the way, no additional twists or turns that could save the day for XRP holders if the ruling doesn't go their way. As the Ripple legal team recently pointed out, everything is briefed, now we wait. If you plan on waiting this out, just be prepared to be disappointed. Should you invest $1,000 in XRP right now? Before you consider XRP, you'll want to hear this. No one understands the major things about crypto. Market cap isn't a determining factor of a crypto's price. In the future, governments, banks, and corporations will be using XRP. This will be in the billions and trillions. If XRP was worth 30 cents or $3, its entire supply would run out instantly. XRP needs to be valued high to transfer large sums of money. If investing in XRP were a mistake, $1 would be logically as bad as $1,000, not a 1,000x smaller error. So, to begin with, it's not the amount, it's the fundamentals. As well, your question cannot be answered without knowing the individual's personal, financial, and health circumstances. I have answered questions similar to this one before, and I can only suggest you browse through them, think about what applies to you, and come to your own conclusion. As always, I want to encourage you to do your own research as to the big picture, including regulation, crypto, Ripple, and XRP. Ripple's website is a good place to start and includes new explanatory videos. Ripple's XRP token is a risky play, and that's even in relation to other cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrency stocks. The SEC lawsuit led several popular exchanges to drop XRP, and it has also received criticism in the crypto community because a private company is in charge of it. At the same time, it's easy to see the potential of Ripple. It could replace an inefficient and outdated system for international money transfers. The fact that it has partnerships with banks is promising, and any positive developments in its legal status could lead to an increase in price. Cryptocurrencies in general are volatile, and XRP is in an even more complicated position. If you think Ripple could continue to grow, then a small investment in XRP may be worth considering. It's not nearly as safe as investing in stocks, but if Ripple succeeds, you could make a sizable return. A popular recommendation with any cryptocurrency investment is to only put in what you can afford to lose. That advice is good to follow when buying XRP. It has potential, but there's no guarantee that it will be a success. So we come to the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, you can help enlighten others just like you have been enlightened by sharing this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news everywhere, guys. If you are a true cryptocurrency fan, don't miss any of our content. See you tomorrow to talk about the latest news that concerns us all as a community.